be talking about the one and only Christian Eriksen yet again. And this is I think, unbelievable, because even from, if you're comparing it from yesterday, there was already quite a lot of conflicting reports coming from this story. Obviously, we brought you the news that we've heard that Eriksen has a verbal agreement with Tottenham, and that he could well be on his way back to White Hart Lane and back to N17. That's what we're hearing. A lot of reliable journalists have been obviously contradicting that with their news. Ali Gold saying we haven't been in contact with Eriksen for 2 weeks and things like that. Now, even just since yesterday, I'm going to go through the conflicting. This is just since our stream yesterday, where there was already a bunch of conflicting news from Romano to Ali Gold to all these. So this is as of yesterday. Tom Barkley of The Sun says Tottenham are set to resist a move for Eriksen, as Conte is happy with his four centre mids in Basuma, Højbjerg, Bentancur and Skip. Rob Dawson of ESPN says Tottenham remain Christian Eriksen's most likely destination according to their sources. Gary Jacob of The Times says Christian Eriksen is considering an offer from Man United after Tottenham distance themselves from claims that they are set to re-sign the Danish midfielder. Jamie Jackson says of The Guardian says Christian Eriksen favours a move back to Tottenham or a new contract at Brentford after rejecting Man United. And Fabrizio Romano says Tottenham have not made an official offer to Christian Eriksen. He's not a priority for the club right now, even though 2 days ago he said that Eriksen has three offers on the table, one from Tottenham, Brentford and Man United. So that would imply there has been an official bid, but now he's saying there hasn't been an official bid. So the question is, does anyone really know what is going on with Christian Eriksen? Because everyone seems to be contradicting each other. Obviously, we have our own sources. That's been contradicted by everyone, but everyone's contradicting each other. So who can we believe right now?
Exactly. I mean, what I was going to ask you a question about with those sources you've just mentioned. Obviously, the people that are well known on Twitter, minus Fabrizio, who's the one that you'd say out of those lists, like the Gary Jacobs and Matt Laws and all the other ones?
Gary Jacob is reliable. Usually, when he broke the news about Basuma, and obviously that was very, very true. Then Ali Gold, obviously we know how reliable he is, but he's been on holiday for a few days, and we know Eriksen is currently on holiday. But he said, I watched Ali Gold's video today, and he said that he had obviously reached out to both camps, and he said from Tottenham point of view it's gone quiet, and from Eriksen's point of view he said he's surprised that why Tottenham haven't gone back to him in 2 weeks, but that's also gone quiet at the moment. From Ali Gold's update as well, I found it a bit weird when he said, I don't know whether, I'm just thinking about it logically, he said that Eriksen did want to remain in London, but now he has so many offers, that's no longer a requirement. He can actually move outside of London because he has so many offers. But I'm thinking, like, does that make sense? Because surely you'd only say a preference of where you want to stay if you didn't have that many offers. Because
to narrow them down.
Exactly, to narrow them down. If you did have that many offers, surely then you could say, actually, I've got those many offers. I'm just going to narrow it down to London because I've got so many. If I need to choose, I'm going to choose between narrowing it down to where I prefer to live. But if he didn't have so many offers, then surely he can't be picky in terms of I want to just stay in London because he doesn't have that many offers. So he's really restricting himself if he just wants to stay in London. So I didn't quite understand that update from Ali Gold.
I mean, obviously, we've had many transfer windows where we've been left guessing what's going to happen or who's coming, who's not coming, who's going, who's not going. But this story is just, like you said, in the space of 24 hours, it's just been crazy. The amount of conflicting reports and leaks and ITKs coming out of everything. Who knows what is going on with here? I really don't know. Like I said, I got into the place where I was ready to accept Eriksen back myself. Obviously, I've mentioned why I wasn't keen on him coming back. But now this is all just up in the air again. It's like, how do we know what the hell is going on? And it's another player where this deal just looks like it's dragging on and on and on again. And we're just going to have to wait and see. But I'm starting to get concerned, and not just about Eriksen.
And Sean Walsh has just even now has tweeted saying that all of a sudden Brentford could be front runners. He's saying that Eriksen. He said on Eriksen, he's not the most reliable because it's 90 minutes, not the best source. But he says he has told Brentford he was probably leaving. Brentford made a renewed bid. Thomas Frank met with him and are now back in the race. Spurs and Man United are interested, but they are not. But he is not a priority for them now. Likely he doesn't return to Tottenham. Brentford will get their man. So now we've gone from Man United being front runners to Tottenham being front runners, to now Brentford being front runners, according to all these sources. It's hard to keep up with what really is happening, and I'm thinking about it more in terms of Eriksen having a verbal agreement with Spurs. I mean, it is entirely possible that they do have a verbal agreement. It just hasn't pulled the trigger on exact decided. He definitely wants to come to us. If we're not, even though there's a verbal agreement, doesn't necessarily mean he feels like he's 100% sure. Maybe just a verbal agreement on wage package and all this kind of stuff, but he's not 100% sure yet that he wants to definitely return to Tottenham. That's entirely possible.
It's entirely possible. You also got to look at it, like I said yesterday, he's a free transfer, so there's no immediate rush that this deal has to get done before September the 1st. Obviously, if there are a lot of teams dealing with this, you want to start getting this deal over the line if there are serious bidders in there, and we want him that badly. But there is no real rush like to get a Bastoni or a Richarlison or a Rafinha or a Spence. These players need to be wrapped up by September the 1st. Yes, we've got a lot of time, but pre-season is 10 days, a week away, 10 days away. This is when we wanted players in. Yes, there's 3, but with this Eriksen one, it's getting to the point that it's getting boring to talk about. And not just because of what's going on. It's just all the conflicting evidence or reports that are coming out. It's just like, where do you go with it?
Yeah, it's just interesting because we obviously... Sorry. Apologies. We obviously had got the news from our news source about Eriksen, but then all these other stuff came out. But, it's hard to know which one's right because everyone's conflicting each other. So everyone's saying we're wrong because of this report, but then this report's also being conflicted by these other reports.
Yep.
So
it's going to continue with this one.
Yeah, it seems as though just have to wait and see until Eriksen finally decides to make it public what his intentions are. It seems the ball's completely in his court at the moment, but the Spurs just, I don't know. Do we think that Spurs are definitely not interested in him at the moment? The way things are being said, because I think. I can't believe we would turn down the opportunity to re-sign him based on what we need. Surely it's too good of an opportunity to turn down to not be seriously interested.
So there's 2 other things to add into this. You got to remember, first of all, there's the one where apparently another twist in this is that Eriksen does want to come to Spurs, but his representatives want a higher payout. And they're looking elsewhere. So it could be them saying, listen, we've got more money here, which is more lucrative for you. And then you got to look at it. He said he's on his holiday. He's left his agent in charge. Eriksen might have been okay in this, and it could be agent talk just doing what they do. There are so many...
Try and get a higher bid from other people, you never know.
I think once... and then you've got to add the other thing in that apparently Conte, and this is another thing that's going on Twitter, has said that he's happy with the 4 midfielders he's got. Mm-hmm. And there's some weight behind that because we all know, like he did at Inter or like he does at Chelsea, his creativity comes from the wing-backs. So it could be a huge smokescreen, and we're going for wing-backs secretly under. So there's just so many loopholes in this. Yeah,
that's true. But Eriksen in the season they won the league, in the second half of that season, he did start, I think, every single game for Antonio Conte as they went on to win the league, and he was by the end of it, he was one of his most trusted players. So definitely he sees the value in having someone like Eriksen in the team, and he's had obviously he has people like Brozovic as well, Barella, really good technicians in the centre of midfield. So it's not all just about having people who are strong physically and good defensively. Although when he won the league with Chelsea, he had Matic and Kante. Obviously, they're two those kind of players, but he also appreciates creativity as well. I remember Fabregas played a big role in that season as well, coming in and doing a really good job for the team. So I'll be surprised if he doesn't want at least one of those type of players in this midfield, at least as an option.
The one thing I will just add on to that with the second half of the season where he played regularly is he used him, but he already had the 2 wing-backs that he knew, that he trusted and had, where he hasn't got them yet at Tottenham.
Yeah.
So I think if you look at it, don't get me wrong, he may want to use a bit of creativity in the Eriksen kind of way, but I think where he's looking to solve his creativity mainly, and always has been the wing backs. So I think that's a bigger necessity to sort out and get locked in before we sign an attacking midfielder.
Yeah, I agree with that.